There is a new paper out that underscores everything I've been talking about with EMP, especially from China. As a matter of fact, according to three open source intelligence experts, China's military researchers have made great progress in creating strategic and tactical electromagnetic pulse or EMP weapons that may shut out electronics abroad, U.S. airplanes, and entire military sites, not to mention our own power grid right here at home, and much more. Guys, the point of this paper is to show you just how active the Chinese are in EMP research. They're really all over it. And that spells they might just use it, and they may use it right here. This is a risk I've been telling you about. This is why I tell you guys to prepare. This is why I tell you guys that you got to be ready for the worst. For an EMP, that's one of the worst things that might happen to us. Yeah, I've even got a video where I said it's worse than a full-scale nuclear war. If you don't buy that, go look at my video on it. You'll be surprised how bad these scenarios can be. But anyway, according to recent analysis on the danger, electronic controls for vital U.S. infrastructure, including the power grid, might also be exposed to Chinese EMP weapons, potentially causing catastrophic losses. According to the paper, Chinese rapid advancements in the field of EMP weaponry have emerged as a significant concern for strategic landscape of global security, particularly concerning the vulnerabilities of the U.S. military and civilian operations. Now, guys, yeah, right here at home is where you're going to be concerned about, and that's what I've been trying to warn you. Anyway, this study, which is titled The Darkness in the Distance, the rising threat of China's EMP weapons to U.S. defenses and critical infrastructure, was released just this last Wednesday, and military and intelligence specialist L.J. Eads, Ryan Clark, and Zhao Zhu Jianling, I don't, my pronunciation of Chinese is somewhat less than spectacular, so bear with me. But anyway, as part of the project named the Chinese Communist Party Biothreats Initiative, the three researchers that released this are experts in analyzing the Chinese military and armaments project. These guys are Chinese military systems experts. So this was all done under the auspices of a bioweapons research initiative, but they saw such a potential here with the EMP. And guys, we know the bio thing is real too, because I did a video talking about where they found this bio lab near Fresno, California, and I think Reedy, California. Guys, how many more labs are there in this nation like that? We just found the tip of the iceberg. We're very vulnerable. And why has China got all these rats already in the labs ready to go, guys? This entails something might be breaking loose soon. That's what I worry about. But anyway, electromagnetic pulse, as you may know by now, and you should if you've been watching my channel, emits energy that was initially seen first in nuclear explosions. Electromagnetic systems can be destroyed and damaged by pulses across a large region or entire continent. So depending on what they use, how high they set it off, and things like that. So I've talked about this quite a bit. Go back and watch my old videos on EMP. Anyway, a 2020 military assessment claims that China is in possession of a gadget known as a high-powered magnetic pulse compressor, that produces strong EMP pulses that can harm delicate equipment. And this analysis, what this is an analogous to, you might recall the movie Ocean's 11, at least the re-release of it, where they had a magnetic pinch device, my shoulder's killing me, which they took out Las Vegas with and were able to run in and take what they want. We have missiles. We have some cruise missiles that have similar technology too for use in limited areas, but these can really take out your opponent's weapon systems, command and control systems. So on the tactical battlefield, those are crucial elements. According to the assessment, the gadget possesses a significant threat to intelligent military equipment. The report included a picture of the apparatus in that report. And I've been searching for this direct report, and it's kind of difficult to come up with a good version of it. A weaponized EMP device like the compressor might destroy communications and disarm defensive systems and render electronic equipment inoperable. Well, no duh. In the first phase of a military assault against an island like Taiwan or Guam, China might potentially use EMP assault weapons, according to the study. And this is of course, once again, what we're being talking about here is chiefly a tactical military weapon. This magnetic compression device, magnetic pinch device, whatever you want to call it. Beijing destroyed micro inertia sensors, which are employed. Yes, that's what this thing did. They destroyed micro inertia sensors, which are employed in cutting edge weaponry such as civil systems that use MEMS. Now, MEMS are micro electromechanical systems. It's where you put mechanical systems and electrical systems all together on an itty bitty chip, like an accelerometer, or maybe a way to sniff a chemical or sense various things in the environment. Anyway, these things help power a vast number of small gadgets, according to a second Chinese military research study from 2020. The research revealed that the sensor micro components might be burned out by a pulse with a voltage of 780 volts and an amperage of something like maybe 4.23 amps or something like that. I think it's really microamps in this case. Don't take a lot, sometimes milliamps. It don't take a lot to burn out these MEMS, not microamps. Milliamps might do it. So, as you know, EMP super weapons put out 100,000 volts per meter. So, this is not an EMP super weapon that we're talking about in this case, but an EMP super weapon, of course, would fire those things too. Anyway, this paper said that this threshold indicates that the sensor's susceptibility to electromagnetic pulses in warfare scenarios is very serious. It's real. They're there. So they've already demonstrated they can fry these MEMS with the Chinese effort. So apparently that's been uncovered. The next B-21 strategic bomber, as well as F-35s and F-22 fighters used by the Pentagon, might all be destroyed by an EMP weapon. Navigation systems, armament systems, and flight safety systems are all reliant on MEMS technology. So, anything they target MEMS can take all this stuff out. According to the article, Chinese EMP weapons might potentially target the airplane's radar systems. This article further disclosed that China's work on portable carry-on size directed energy weapon is a very big ongoing effort with them. The Chinese business CETC International Company Limited created the microwave active denial system for its assistance with the Chinese military's balloon surveillance program. Why do they need that with the balloon surveillance program, I might ask? That's more than surveillance when you're doing active microwave attacks. So anyway, CETC was one of the businesses that the Biden administration sanctioned. Well, good for that. Again, these magnetic compression EMP devices are tactical weapons, as I've said before. China also has the technology for strategic EMP super weapons, which can put over 200,000 volts per meter on our power lines or other conductive surfaces, rail lines and pipelines. This could take out everything across a broad battlefield or entire U.S. electrical grid with just one device, sending us back to the Stone Age, perhaps permanently. And to understand that, you need to watch my many videos on EMP and the threat there too. I cover that in great detail, talking about how so many things will be irreplaceable in a situation like this. So, and I know some of you will argue with me. Watch my videos on it. Okay, so I don't want to do it takes the entire video to explain all that. Anyway, as I've illustrated in my video, EMP attacks from the Chinese military, I'm talking about EMP balloon attack, excuse me. My video title, the EMP balloon attack threat from the Chinese military. You think I could get my own title right? This paper also, along that lines, points out that in the future, China may undertake strategic EMP assaults on the United States using its balloon fleet. Yeah, it's like I said. And now they are coming to the same conclusion, severely compromising the nation's critical infrastructures and defense readiness. That's putting it very mildly, severely compromising. How about wiping out, completely devastating? That's what I covered in my video on that topic. And I've got a 24-page paper to back it up that I wrote for the MP Task Force on National and Homeland Security. And it's been briefed to the Homeland Security committees in both the House and the Senate. Yeah, there's some legislation that's been prompted by this, but it's not quite enough. I'm going to cover another video in the not too distant future on what to do about these balloons, how to take them out. I mentioned this a little bit in the video I did with the Canadian prepper, some of the steps that be taken in that area. So I'll have a video coming out on that in the not too distant future. And shout out to Canadian prepper. Everybody watch him. It's a good channel. Anyway, alrighty. So in any event, so this electronic denial system can be used to disable electronic security and surveillance systems at military sites before the commando operations, as well as to jam or disable vital communications needed to coordinate with allies. So, yeah, they're looking at it on a small scale. They're looking tactical in this paper, not so much in the strategic scale of things, where I've been concentrating on what the strategic skill would be for America, because that's how we as preppers will experience it first and foremost. Although if we've got loved ones in the military, they're going to see both sides of this if we're not careful. I hope that don't happen. But anyway, the electronic denial system may also be used for civilian targeting to shut down critical infrastructure, including power grids, transportation hubs, and communications networks, according to the paper. Of course, you may have watched this on many of my videos and know just how serious this actually can be. You know, they're kind of downplaying the effects of this, but we've gone into it in great detail. The paper describes China's neurostrike arsenal as brain warfare assaults on individuals and entire communities, and electronic denial systems that may be employed as a component of this. This paper's authors claimed in earlier research that Chinese military is a global leader in creating technologies of brain warfare. So this brain warfare, is it using the same technologies as this microwave denial system? Very similar radio type technologies, and they're putting this on these so-called spy balloons. Holy smoke, guys! That puts the spy balloon in a whole new realm of threat posture against us. Now, see, I was thinking surveillance, but this thing could have actually done some active electromagnetic attacks. Holy smoke, guys, this is not good. There's nothing good about any of this. And we just let that thing fly clear across America. Holy smoke. What a, anyway, a survey of China's patent filings across the world indicate that Beijing has submitted several patent applications for a high power microwave source and a pulse power source technology system. Guys, yeah. Brainwaves. I've actually talked about that in one of my videos. I think it was on my live sessions, that there are frequencies that you can disrupt people's neural networks, their brains. And if you did it, you know, you can make somebody maybe sick on the lower level. On the top level, you can probably wipe them out completely. You know, put them underground. Guys, this is serious technologies. Anyway, force here where I'm at. Pardon the security force. I've got to go take care of the Chinese trying to sneak on the compound here. If you hadn't seen, Chinese tourists have been trying to break into military installations everywhere, claiming they're tourists, that is. Oh, we're just lost. We're just sightseeing. Yeah, right. Anyway, military and commercial international airfields are important to transit hubs and susceptible to EMP strikes also, of course. As a result, tiny weapons like China's microwave active denial system present a very serious danger. Yeah. So this active denial system, it's more than just our denial system that we're planning to use on troops to make their skin burn and itch so they'll run and disperse people in crowds. Now, they've taken it to another level in China, as you might imagine they would. And then they said an EMP attack targeting an airfield could create cascading effects that extend far beyond the immediate facility. You know, there's cascading failures happening. One thing fails here, it causes something else to fail over there, and they cascade outwards. So So we're talking about their smaller weapons, not the big EMP strategic weapons, not a nuke. We're talking uh, magnetic compression devices, pinch devices. You can put them in a truck, in a garage, carry them in a briefcase. Yeah, there's briefcase scale devices that do this kind of thing. And Dr. Peter Vincent-Pry, the late great Dr. Peter Vincent-Pry, used to tell us about these. And I've seen a video where guys talking about how he built one in the truck that only put out 30,000 volts per meter and defeated military facilities that were supposed to have been hardened against the old requirement of 50,000 volts per meter, in lieu of the fact that the Chinese have systems of 200,000 volts per meter. So if you're feeling secure, think twice. Anyway, so So air traffic control systems, instrument landings, and navigation systems and communication systems are among the targets of these EMP weapons. That's pretty obvious given what China is doing this. They're targeting everything. That's what China does. Electric grids and communications networks are potential targets for EMP assaults and war because of the critical infrastructure weaknesses. Because we haven't hardened the grid, which I've been pushing for years. EMP attacks on power plants, substations, and high voltage cables might result in widespread blackouts. Oh, yeah. One of my biggest topics, guys. The electric grid's electronic control systems are susceptible to EMP, which might result in overloads and equipment failures. It's just they're really underplaying what could happen there, guys. I've gone into it in a lot more detail. It's scary. Electronic attacks on satellites, data centers, and cellular towers may potentially seriously interrupt operations. Yeah, communications, no kidding. Additionally, transportation networks are susceptible. Rail traffic, airline communications, and all traffic lights might be affected by an EMP hit. EMP assaults may potentially result in financial losses if they target the stock market or ATMs. Guys, everything in our society runs on electricity. If you took down the entire power grid, you're not going to have communications. You're not going to have banking. No water's going to be pumped. No fuel's going to be pumped. You're not going to order replacement parts for your trucks off the internet. When you walk in a parts store, their computers and inventory system ain't going to work. No, their purchasing system ain't going to work. Your bank account ain't going to exist because the bank is going to be fried. All your money in the bank is in digital ones and zeros. We get luck with that if we get a nationwide grid down. So, like again, I'm telling you, these guys underplay what could happen. The potential devastation of an EMP attack on U.S. critical infrastructure is profound, the paper stated, because of their interdependence. These systems are susceptible to cascading failures from one to another. Like I said, the electrical system is the linchpin. If it goes down, it all goes. China's also working on EMP devices, as and that's a sign that their countries' military anticipate. Wait, let me rephrase it. China's working on military defenses from EMP, and that's a sign that the countries also anticipate that they may get EMP attacks in the future. Well, we're not doing a whole lot in EMP weapon areas yet. Maybe that's where after they take us out and they go to war with Russia, which also has a lot of EMP weapons. So maybe that's their final take. Take out America, take out Russia. Hey, the world's their oyster. Yeah. Anyway, I hope these things don't come to pass. But with America out of the equation, it's everybody knows one day China and Russia will be at it. And I think Russia is going to be very much the underdog in that case. So, yeah, I think China would prevail against Russia at this point in time. This study also extorts armed forces and the federal government of the United States to swiftly establish plans and for defenses against Chinese EMP threat. What? No kidding. That's what I've been pushing for over a decade. Well over a decade. Anyway, in essence, while the EMP threat looms large, a combination of advanced material sciences, innovative circuitry, and exhaustive intelligence efforts can fortify the U.S. defenses, ensuring continued capabilities even in the face of an EMP adversity, the research said. The problem, of course, is that at least when it comes to power grid, no one's doing anything about it. That's what I've been railing against. The power companies have spent more of your ratepayer fees to fight hardening the grid than it would have taken them to get the grid hardened. So they've been paying for all these big fancy lawyers on K Street in Washington, D.C. to go lobby instead of doing the job they should have done to protect you with the ratepayer money that you paid them. What a ripoff. Yeah, I guess some lawyers in K Street are laughing their rear ends off. Well, who on them? Anyway, the research, according to Dr. Robert McCrate, a former special operations officer and State Department treaty negotiator, said that it indicates that there's still issues with electromagnetic spectrum. Now, that we know. He said, the U.S. government urgently has to handle this problem. But will they? But will they? When it comes to our defense of our grid here at home, nothing has been done. Oh, there's pretenses. They talk, but nothing substantial has been done. Take it from me. I am a member of 2 national EMP defense committees, the 2 premier committees in trying to get our grid hardened here in the United States. And we are all just caught in unbelief at what the industry hasn't done, the kind of things they bragged and maintained. Oh, this is good because, which is total Bravo Sierra, if you know what I'm talking about. So, guys, the bottom line here is get ready. Prepare yourself. Be ready for things to crash, to go down. I highly encourage you to learn to garden. You can check out my links to True Leaf Market and Eden Brothers for gardening. But, you know, it takes a while to really get your gardening skills down, Pat, and you always might get wiped out. So I encourage you to get some long-term food storage if you can afford it. Go to prepwithgreg.com. The prices there are still incredibly low, considering what you buy for 25 years storage food. Anyway, well, I'm going to say thank you for watching very much. And I hope you enjoyed the background behind me, the scenery here. And I'll say, Greg out.